good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good people. My name is Martin Imodage Wamoreidi, and today I'm coming to you with another edition of Fight Night Predictions, my Fight Night Predictions, and it is another auspicious, probably the most auspicious day of the year today. We have one one fight card today, the last one of UFC, and it's UFC 245, good people. We have three title fights and a bunch of fight of the night, fight of the year contenders. So let me get started. And today, I don't know, where is it? It's in Las Vegas. Yeah, so it's in Las Vegas. First fight of the evening is Mr. Soriano versus Mr. Piechota. I believe Mr. Soriano is making his he's making his debut in the UFC tonight. So I've had some good things about him. So I'm gonna pick him to win this one. Let me fix that. Let me pick El Sacco over here. So Mr. Soriano is my first pick of the night. Second pick of the night, second fight of the night, good people, is Miss Jessica I versus Araujo. Miss Jessica I recently, for her last fight, I believe, was for the title. Yeah, fought Valentina Shevchenko. She ended up losing. And man, she looked good, but I'm on a bias right now. Like I'm picking Brazilians, I believe, Brazilians and people from Russia, Dagestan, and some people from some other gyms are really on top of their art skills, of their mastery. They've really mastered some of their skills right now. So I'm gonna pick Araujo to win on this one. Be a good fight. Probably a person who wins might end up fighting for the title. If Araujo wins, if I wins again, I don't know. That's not my work. I should not be worried about that. Next fight, Mr. Moreno versus Cara France. Moreno's from the US or Mexico. I don't know. It's the same country, good people. He's from either the US or Mexico, fighting Mr. Cara France, who's either from Australia or New Zealand. I'm not sure. I saw that his flag somewhere, and I do not know the difference between those two flags. It's the same thing, still, good people. So anyway, I'm gonna pick Mr. Cara France because I think he might be from New Zealand, and they're producing some really good fighters over there, like my good friend, Mr. Stylebender, Izzy Adesanya. He's not a friend, not even an acquaintance. Anyway, good people. Next fight, Mr. Hooper versus Tamor. Tamor looked really excited. I watched the weigh-ins or the face-offs. I'm not sure which one. Well, yeah, I think it was the face-offs where they go, face each other. And Mr. Tamor looked really pumped up. Hooper looked stoic. Man, I really want to pick Mr. Tamor, but on this one, I'm gonna go with Hooper because he was a lot taller. That's all I know. He was a lot taller. I do not know. I haven't seen any of them fight before. Just noticed he was tall. Tamor looked like he had a lot of power. Like he's a short, stocky guy. Believe they're fighting at 145 pounds. Featherweight, yep, 145 pounds. So I'm gonna pick Mr. Hooper over here. Boom. And I think he's supposed to be really young too. I'm not sure. He looked young to me. Next, so like this first four fights will be on UFC Fight Pass prelims, and then they'll switch it to ESPN2 and then switch it to that. It's a lot of stuff, good people. I don't know. Anyway, it's not my problem. Next fight, this one will be between two veterans of the fight community of the MMA world. Mr. Brown versus Saunders. Matt Brown? I believe Matt Brown. So Saunders, I've seen them fight. I believe they both fought this year and fighting in the welterweight bout, 170 pounds. So, man, Mr. Saunders looked really big compared to Brown. And oh man, I really want to pick him right now. But he has a big head, which I believe will be a big target for Mr. Brown to hit. So I'm going to pick Mr. Brown over here to win. Hope they both have a good fight. Anyway, next fight, Ian Heinisch versus Akhmedov. Middleweight bout. Man, I saw this. I saw the face-offs, and man, Akhmedov is a really big guy. Heinisch is a really talented and skilled fighter. I haven't seen Akhmedov fight before. But like I said, good people, I have a bias against some fighters from certain countries, from certain gyms, and Akhmedov is one of them right now. He has a name, sounds Dagestani. And if it's from Dagestan, man, I'm yet to see somebody from Dagestan really get dominated, really lose. This Sambo, he probably has Sambo experience. I didn't even know about Sambo until I knew about the Dagestanis good people. And a friend of mine told me that Sambo should be considered the original MMA, or at least the first MMA. And I really, man, I don't know if I picked I picked Heinisch his last fight to win, and he's my man. He's my homie. He's not my. We haven't met. We just homies on screen. You know, he doesn't know I exist, but I know he exists. But I'm sorry, Mr. Ian Heinisch. I wish the best of luck to you tonight. But I have this thing I call the beard rule. No, that's just a stupid excuse. I'm gonna pick Akhmedov because I'm yet to see a Dagestani get dominated. So boom. Next fight, Miss Vieira versus Aldana. This is in the bantam weight. I will. Oh yeah, I don't know. I do not know about Vieira or Aldana. I heard this is Aldana's first fight in the UFC. Oh yeah, no, Vieira's from Brazil, and I really like when people make the UFC debuts with a win. So I like the first fight I picked, Soriano, not just because of that, but also because the Heidi's a really good fighter. I do not know anything about these two ladies other than Aldana, this being her debut, and Vieira, she's from Brazil. I'm biased for fighters from, Brazil. So I'm going to pick Miss Vieira to win this one. And then the last card of the prelims, one of my favorite fighters, top 5, top 3, top 1. I do not know. He's up there at the top. Mr. Mike Perry will be fighting Mr. Jeff Neal, I think. But Neal versus Mike Perry. And I don't know, good people, if you had the opportunity and the pleasure of watching Mike Perry's last performance. It was gangster, good people. He had a broken nose. The judges scored a loss for him. I had him win that fight at least 2-1 rounds. It was brutal, but it was a good fight. Much respect to him and the opponent he had in that fight. And this fight, he's fighting another beast, Mr. Neal, Jeff Neal. I don't think Jeff Neal has been defeated in the UFC. I don't know how many fights he's had in the UFC, but I heard he's undefeated. And I do not want him to lose, but I have to pick someone to lose, someone to win. And I'm gonna pick my homie Mike Perry on this one. He's a bulldog. He's a Tasmanian devil. Like if you watched Looney Tunes and the Tasmanian devil just come like, you know, that's Mike Perry to me. Like fucking, you say Tasmanian devil, you say Mike Perry. It's one and the same in my head. So, shaboom, Mr. Perry. I hope you have a good fight, both of you gentlemen. Might be a fight of the night contender, that one. Oh yeah, a few fight of the night contenders over here. I believe, man, we have Soriano. I don't know since I don't know about that one, but I versus Araujo, I believe that might be fight of the night contender. Hooper versus Tamer. Oh no, Moreno versus France. Heinish Akhmedov, maybe. Neil Perry, probably. Probably there'll be this will be a stand up and bang, so there won't be. Yeah, it'll be stand up and bang. Anyway, good people, main card will be on ESPN Plus. 5 fights. The best compliment I had these fighters, this fight card, the main card received this week was that each of these fights could be its own main event. You know, and I had to agree with that compliment that each of these fights over here is high quality. And so let us get started, good people. First fight of the main card, have a legend of the sport, Mr. Uriah Faber, a sensei to many fighters, fighting an up-and-comer, Petr Yan. Petr. I don't know, Petr Yan. I'm going to say Yan. Yan versus Faber, Uriah Faber. I really want to see this fight. I'm really excited about it. Mr. Yan has been doing some big things, challenging. Like whoever wins this, I believe, could have the potential to fight for the title. And Mr. Uriah Faber's a legend of the sport, a former champion. Yeah, former champion. Oh my God, good people. I just realized I'm going to be picking against a former champion. And it's not because of anything against his skills or anything. I just want to see some new blood in the division. And I'd love to see him, Mr. Faber, have his students in his position. So, Mr. Yan, please do me proud and make this as exciting as I am excited. Next fight, another exciting fight, good people. Marlon Moraes versus Jose Aldo in the bantamweight. Oh my God, good people. Mr. Moraes had a really good fight last time. He fought for the title, his last fight, which I thought he was winning. And then he was facing Triple C, he was facing a champion. And some champions have hearts of lions, maybe 2 or 3, you know? And now he's fighting another one in Jose Aldo. And Mr. Jose Aldo is a former champion too, who I believe has championship heart. And he's coming down in weight. A lot of people have said about his weight cut and all that stuff. I do not pay attention to that stuff. If he feels good, if I say I feel good, I feel good. You know, if he says he feels good, who am I to say he's too skinny or cut too much weight? He knows what he's doing. He knows what his job is. And so, good people, unfortunately, Mr. Marlon Moraes, I'm going to have to pick a second loss for you. I'm going to pick. And I don't like picking against champions. And today, oh my God, I'm picking a champion to win. A former champion to win. Because he's a beast and I just want to see him win today, good people, tonight. Next fight, oh my God, good. 3 title fights tonight. I thought about this earlier, and I think this has only happened once, at least I can remember. It happened last year. We had a fight card where I had 3 title fights, and if my memory serves me right, all the all the challengers ended up winning belts. All the champions lost that night. I don't think we're gonna have a repeat of what happened. No 2 days are the same, or two fight cards are the same. First fight, first title fight, the Lioness herself, Amanda Nunes versus Jermaine Durandamy. I heard that they fought before. I haven't seen that fight. I heard that Miss Durandamy won that fight, which was 6 years ago, about 6 years ago. And they've both evolved. They've both acquired new skills. They're both different than they were. I don't see how Miss Durandamy could beat Amanda Nunes, good people. She could. Anything can happen. But until it happens, I do not see how she can do it. So I'm going to pick Miss Amanda, the Lioness Nunes, to win this one. Next fight. There's going to be another fight of the night. Possibly fight of the year contender. Mr. Max Blessed Holloway versus Alexander the Great Volkanovski. And we have been blessed with having one of the best title holders ever, Mr. Blessed Holloway, Mr. Max Holloway. And I don't know, I think it's like 10 or 11 title defenses, good people, each one better than the last. And tonight, he'll be facing a beast of a man, Mr. Alexander Volkanovski. Found out Alexander Volkanovski used to play rugby. And when he played rugby, he used to weigh over 200 pounds. Right now, he'll be fighting at 145 pounds. And he fights out of one of the best gyms, or two of the best gyms. Fights out of City Kickboxing and also fights out of Tiger Muay Thai. And he's got a lot of things going for him, just not, punching power, speed. Like, you watch his last fight he fought against Mr. Jose Aldo. He made Jose Aldo look like an amateur, That's how good Alexander Volkanovski looks against a former champion. But still said, a champion who lost twice to Max Holloway. Blessed. I'm sorry, Mr. Max. I believe we have new blood. We have new champions. We have a new champion up around the corner. And I'm going to pick him to win this fight. Oh, yeah, because also Max had a really tough fight. His last fight was against Dustin Poirier. He moved up in weight and, man, just fought against the wrong monster, good people. But, yeah, there's my pick. There's my pick. Oh, good people. Main event of the evening, Mr. Colby Chaos Covington will be challenging, trying, according to him, to unify his belts. He is the former interim champion, fighting against Kamaru, the Nigerian Nightmare Usman. Good people, to be honest with you, if it was anybody else Mr. Colby Covington was fighting in this division, I would pick Colby. I believe he can beat anyone in that top 10, top 15, except Kamaru Usman. And I believe this is just the first of probably a trilogy. This is another fight of the night, fight of the year contender. And like I said, if Colby was fighting anybody else, I'd pick him to win, but he's fighting a beast. He's fighting a nightmare, and I believe we're going to be treated to one of the best fights. Hopefully, we're going to be treated to one of the best fights we'll see this year. We'll see this decade. And what a year it's been, what a decade it's been. Beginning of this decade, good people. I could not tell you anything about MMA, but now I can have a conversation with someone. And who knows how the end of the next decade is gonna be, good people. But I'm glad about how this decade ended. I'm glad for how it's gonna end for Mr. Usman becoming making his first title defense, solidifying his undisputed reign. I hope you enjoy, good people. Tell me, make your picks. Tell me about your picks. Tell me what you think about my picks. So enjoy. Happy Saturday. If you watch it on Sunday, I know there's people who are, I know how time works, good people. If you watch it on Sunday, happy Sunday, good people. I hope you enjoy. Until next time, adios. Adios.